Harvest season is here, and one way that you can preserve your harvest is by dehydrating. Today we're going to review the London Sunshine Food Dehydrator. Hey Provident Preppers, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Kylene, and we want to welcome you to National Preparedness Month. We've been working on a lot of different things to get prepared, and this month we're in for a lot of exciting content. The first thing that we're going to do is we were sent this London Sunshine Dehydrator to review, and I was pretty excited about it. One of the things that I really liked about this dehydrator without trying it out was the fact that it has these stainless steel trays in here, and they are dishwasher safe. For those of you who dehydrate, you know that things can get a bit messy in there. Then it comes also with these. But one of the things that I really like to dehydrate is fruit leather. And so we purchased just online some of these silicone mats for the fruit leather, which is amazing. But also our son Mike wanted to try refried bean flakes. And so he made refried beans and spread them out on here, and it worked out really well for him. So this, unlike the freeze dryers, which can never go places, we let Mike actually take this to his house for a week and try it out, and he loved it. Now, one of the things when we were working with it, we were comparing this from one that we purchased at Cabela's 20 years ago. That, while it's definitely had some problems, Jonathan's figured out the fuses that it keeps blowing, and so we buy a bunch of the fuses and just have them handy to replace it.
And as it turns out, it's only been 2 fuses that I've had to replace, so it hasn't been too bad, but it's definitely, there's some contrasting that we can do between that and this, right? One thing is the size. This is a much nicer size. The Cabela's one is about this tall, and so it's a lot more difficult to get out and move around. So when we get it out, it goes out on our porch and it stays there until November and sometimes December and January when we're not even using it, but you know, it's just a bit of a hassle to get out and put away. So this is really nice from that aspect of it being small enough that you can just put it away and get it out very easily.
It has handles on the side which make carrying it really nice. But the other thing that I noticed is this London Sunshine Dehydrator actually is significantly better than my Cabela's. And when we bought the Cabela's, we thought, okay, we're doing top of the line because we need to preserve our food. But as I've been working with this one, the food tends to dry more evenly, so you don't have to swap out the trays. And in my Cabela's, I'll have patches where it just doesn't dry, and sometimes it just doesn't work as well, and it's kind of frustrating. But I haven't found this with the London Sunshine at all. Like, it all dries super evenly, even though when you look at this top rack is actually pretty far up here, and they're close together, which is fine because when you dehydrate stuff, you're making them really, really small, really thin. But John understands why it works better.
Well, one of the things that appealed to me right off, and before we even used it, is that this air is brought in from the back and heated and then blown across the trays. In the other one that we have, the heat element's on the bottom and it blows it up through the middle. But if you're doing things like fruit leather, you've got those trays pretty well filled, and so it doesn't circulate the air nearly as effectively. This brings it in the back, and it vents out a little bit through the doors and through side vents, so it's just pushing it right across the trays as opposed to trying to push it up from beneath. From the engineer standpoint, that right off said, yeah, this is going to work better. I actually thought that you'd have to rotate the trays, but her experience is that no, you don't, and that's what they claim. The London Sunshine people claim you don't have to rotate, or move your trays around.
One of the other things that I really liked is you have a temperature range on here from 90 degrees to 165 degrees. The reason why it's important that I can dehydrate at 90 degrees is because I dry a lot of herbs. This is dried comfrey, and this is dried plantain. Now with herbs, if you dehydrate them at high temperatures, you're killing a lot of the medicinal properties and the nutrition in it. And so being able to do it at a lower temperature is really important. But I want those higher temperatures for when I am like meat, if I am dehydrating meat or something. And the fruit leather, I kind of like to do it around 135 degrees. And so this just allows me the opportunity to do a broad range of different foods in this same dehydrator. We've been using this for about a month. This is the fruit leather that we did, and it turned out really, really nice. Again, we put it in these silicone trays, and we couldn't get those from London Sunshine, but I just picked them up off Amazon, and hopefully maybe London Sunshine will start carrying them. But if you've never had dehydrated grapes, they're different than raisins. I know it sounds kind of weird, but the flavor when you dehydrate them is really, really good. A month into this, it's been about a month, right? Mm-hmm. I am highly confident in recommending this. Now, I haven't used it for a year or two, so I don't know how it's going to hold up, but everything about it to me seems like it's a really good quality.
Yeah.
And that's important. When we're talking about needing to use this to preserve our food so that we can harvest in the fall and we have food all through the winter, that's really important.
The manufacturer says this should be used indoors, but we don't want to heat up our house, so we've been using it out under a covered porch, and I'm sure that that's the reason, is they don't want it rained on. So we've used it outdoors. We haven't had any problems, but it is under a covered porch. If you use it inside, you might want to use that in the fall and winter, and it will actually warm your home because it's blowing that warm air, and probably the fragrances that go with that.
We want to thank London Sunshine for sending this to us and giving us an opportunity to try it out and put it through the hoops. I like it. I like it better than my Cabela's that I have out front. Sorry, Cabela's. It just performs better. And I do like that it's a little bit smaller so that it's more portable. And it seems like it's really sturdy and should last for everything that we need it to last for. Now, our friends at London Sunshine also have given us a code. So if you use the promo code PREPPER25, you'll get 10% off. So make sure you use our link and the promo code to save a little bit of money.
With all the craziness going on in our world, it's time that you know how to grow some of your own food, and also you need to know how to preserve that harvest.
And have the tools that you need to be able to accomplish that. We like to freeze dry, but there are things that I can't make with a freeze dryer, like my fruit leather or my really cool raisins. The more you know how to grow and preserve your own food, the better, the more self-reliant you will be, and the better off you will be regardless of what goes on in this crazy world around us. We like this. The London Sunshine Dehydrator, I have nothing bad to say about it. I think it performs really well, and I would highly recommend it. And now for the question of the day. What is your favorite way to preserve food? Comment below. And thanks for being part of the solution.